All right, folks, we're back here with Catherine, and we have this violin. It was just dubbed an old Acadian fiddle, and I kind of found this and fell in love with it. And I'll just kind of show you the case that it came with. So if you buy it, of course, it gets the case with it as well. But I don't know. I just kind of fell in love with this old fiddle. Ended up buying it. We did a restoration. The neck was really off. The pie or the amount of space between the fingerboard and the violin was like 10 millimeters, which is a huge no-no. So we reset the neck, and everything is correct now. The violin slash fiddle has been well traveled. I really wish it could talk. This is one that I can only imagine has played at many a pubs or many a gigs. It is just one of those folksy type fiddles. So we're gonna see it. You get to hear it played first today after it's been shipped from Canada here to the United States in the great old state of Texas and in the hands of Catherine. So we'll stop talking and turn it right over.
I would definitely classify this instrument as kind of right in between warm and bright. It's very much in the middle. It has the warmth and it has the brightness. It's kind of best of both worlds. Um, I hope the microphone picks it up, but it has this nice kind of woodsy kind of sound, and it projects pretty nicely. It is not super loud. I think one of the pieces I'm going to play, it's going to get a little bit up there, and it might get a little bit louder, but it's not a super loud instrument, which is really nice. It is just, I don't know, he's a pretty mellow fellow who likes to travel. And I just really enjoy it just has a very nice kind of woodsy kind of sound to it, which is very, very pretty. piece. It kind of gives you a little bit of everything in a relatively short amount of time. So you get to hear all the articulations, the staccato notes, the fast notes, sol, G, double stops. It's really just an all-in-one package for testing out an instrument. Overall, it's very easy to play. I like how thin the neck is. For those with smaller hands, I would say my hands are pretty average, but for those with smaller hands, it would feel quite nice to play. Overall, lovely projection. As you heard on the upper register of the E string, a little bit higher up, it really projects quite well. We get that powerful E string sound. But it really does retain a lot of its woodsy warmth, is what I'll classify it as. So it has, it just has a lot of layers to its sound, which is really cool. In terms of the strings, I would say an experimental change of strings might be worth your time. These, while they serve this instrument well, I think something a tiny bit, it can go either way. A little bit more on the warm side or on the bright side. You can pretty much go either way. I wouldn't go too far on either. But I think a change in strings could open up a little bit more of this color palette that I'm feeling that it has. Other than that, it has a nice, clean, articulate sound. It feels great to play. It has a very nice and respectable amount of projection. I think with some different strings, it can open up some more of that lower register even more. We did some, or not, I say we, like I was tapping the bridge. John did some adjustments on the bridge and the sound post in order to open up a little bit more of the lower register, which absolutely helped. I think a string change will just be the cherry on top of that particular area of this instrument. But other than that, it has a lovely sound. It's warm, it's bright, it's just right in that middle. It has a lovely kind of woodsy sound, and it has a lot of history in the sound. I feel like this is a little bit of an older instrument, probably not made within the last 20 years, is just what I'm feeling, maybe. And I kind of like that historic kind of feel to the wood. I wonder if it was played at pubs. It would be really cool if it was. Let me try and think of a Celtic tune. I can't remember the rest, sorry, but that's about the gist of it. It sounds really nice with Celtic music. So you can go classical, you can go Celtic. She has a range, which is really cool. So I think you should definitely come and check this instrument out in person and look at all of these really awesome stickers. All my cases have a ton of stickers, so I'm a huge fan of this case with all of its cool history. All of my stickers has a story behind it, except for like 2, which were just impulse buys at like a random shop. But most of my stickers has a history. And so I'm a huge fan of this case. And so if anything, you gotta get your hands on this case, because there's a lot of history here, as you can see from the wear and tear of the stickers. So come down to Review of Violins and try this instrument out for yourself.
Awesome. Thanks for your insight. And listeners, just so you get a little context on the strings, it's the John Pierce strings. They're just kind of, about a $40 or $50 set. They're designed to have a little bit of a metallic sound to it while being a synthetic string. So I'm wondering if this one is just asking for some steel strings or, some experimenting to suit it to your level. But certainly a woodsy, folksy, Celtic, possibly even a fiddle type of violin. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And Catherine, thank you for your marvelous demo. And thanks for listening. Play on, my friends.